Customer is interested in getting bids for the front step project of their house. It includes a sidewalk. We'll get into it. So the footprint for the steps coming up from the sidewalk are going to remain the same. The first little bit here is nice and straight. As we get a few steps up, it does curve and go to the side. A few things to note. Best I can guess, it's about 5.5 foot drop from the top step down to the sidewalk here. They have an excessive amount of steps going from point A to point B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 steps. It doesn't necessitate it, and actually, I don't know if you can get it from this video. I'll see if I can get it from the side. Some of the steps have sunk into the ground and are going back the wrong way. So when we tear out the steps, we will figure out the appropriate amount to put back in. But for the time, I'm guessing it's going to be maybe 10 steps at 6 inches a piece. That's 60 inches, maybe 11. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out, but it's going to be the same height, approximately 5.5 feet, and the same depth. It's I believe it's 46 feet from the sidewalk to the house, so we can get our dimensions based off of that. These steps are 4 feet wide. They look like they're going to come out pretty easy. The steps they've asked to be built outside the ground. They don't want runners on the side because they like being able to shovel off the steps right onto the grass. The risers are going to be made out of Fond du Lac dolomite mix with a red accent in there. You can see some red accents in their brick. We're going to give them the choice of doing either limestone or bluestone as the treads. So as we come up here, one thing that the wife did say is that she wanted the steps to be as consistent as possible. Right here we are sitting on 20-inch steps, and as we get further along, they're like 3 feet. I told her that it might be possible, but it might not be, depending on how many steps we can take out, and also depending on the grade, that we would work with them to get it to the best possible scenario. So that way, because she's just concerned about having the varying depths of steps. So as we come up here, steps going like this, I'll get a little bit better view. They've got a nice landing right here. The next part of the project are these front steps. As you can see, they're falling apart. These have been veneered over a previous step. So the step looks to be, hasn't moved too much. I told them that we would do our best to be able to veneer over their previous one. So we'll have to clean off the cement here and then go over the top of it using the same stone as we used for the steps leading up to it. So Fond du Lac and dolomite with Colorado red or weathered edge, I don't really care, some sort of red. And the treads will be made out of whatever they choose, either bluestone or limestone. The difference that we have going on here now is that they want to have buttresses put on. So they will be 18 inches extending on each side of the step. So we will have to pour and dowel into the step over here to get it together. It's a step up buttress. So the first buttress will be flush with this bottom step right here. The first buttress will be level with the landing, and then the next for the last 3 feet it will be about 12 inches above the landing. Then from over here, we've got a walkway that's going from the sidewalk right here out to their garage and out to a deck that is yet to be built. We're expanding this to 2 feet. I believe it's about 18 inches right now, or 20 inches, something like that. So the walkway will be 2 feet at this point. Coming around here, there's still discussion about what's going on. We're going to give them a bid for basically more or less straight runs. If they want to have some movement to it, that's fine. I just told them that we would adjust it based on the square footage and whether there are cuts. So we're just going to give them a ballpark for the time, a decent ballpark for the time being, with the measurements that I've supplied. So we'll be going pretty much straight to the garage right there, and then at some point here in the middle between the step where their deck is going and their garage, but they said something like they want a little, I'll use the word patio, a little landing area, a transition piece, so that way, like about where I'm standing, there's going to be something. I'm not quite sure what yet. Maybe like a 4x4 piece or whatever, a 4x4 landing area, pad area, so that way you can go from point A to point B. They said that once things get cleared out here, they'll be able to have a better idea of how it's gonna, how the flow is gonna work going through here. But then we're gonna build a walkway going to where their new deck is, from that sidewalk, maybe 14 feet. I told them that, or I talked to them about the sidewalk coming from the garage. That will be a main walkway. So the space going from the walkway going from the garage to the transition here all the way to the deck will be a main walkway area. So that will be 3 feet wide as opposed to 2 feet wide. The 2 feet wide walkway will just be from the steps to wherever it meets up with this other sidewalk. Bidding in both bluestone and limestone. There was lots and lots of talk about doing pavers. They've had pavers at their previous place, but I suggested that if they wanted to do pavers, that they would start pavers starting after these steps right here and just do it as the walk's going this way, because paver steps look stupid, and they agreed. So there was discussion about doing pavers over around here. So go ahead and put in what it would cost to do pavers starting at the step here and in this area, in that for the walkways around here. Same dimensions, just a typical paver running bond, I would assume. Something easy, either bond or basket weave or something like that. So I think that's it. They have a graduation in June, so they'd prefer to have it, they want to have at least this front way done by then. I said that would be a possibility, but we need to get a contract soon. They are chomping at the bit, so we'll get this to you as soon as possible.